Good morning, and good morning. Welcome to Muffin to Say. I'm relatively sure that I'm actually on in 3 locations today. We are on in YouTube's land, in vertical and horizontal, and we are on in Twitch land in the horizontal format. And if anyone pops into any of those streams, please leave me a comment to let me know you're out there, because to be honest with you, I don't know if I'm seeing all the chat or not. So I would love to have a couple of folks pop in and say hi, and it looks like we have at least one person in the chat. Good morning, Michael. Which version of the stream are you watching? Because I don't know if these are actually working, and if they are, whether they're working right. And I look pretty fahoodle, but it doesn't really matter. I love the thumbnail today. We're going to talk a little bit about goofy stuff that is happening in the cultural sphere that makes me want to laugh. But really, we are just kind of testing to see whether my connection can even handle 3 streams or not. So far, so good. It looks like we are actually live streaming in 3 spots at the same time. So if you wanted to check us out on Twitch, we are at Muffin to Say over there. And of course on YouTube, we're at Muffin to Say as well. So we're actually doing this live in 3 spots. And Michael is watching our vertical live stream, and everyone else is probably taking a nap or sleeping. But it looks like we're pretty good, which is awesome. So I have no doubt that all of you, or at least some of you, or maybe a couple of you, have actually seen this crazy nonsense that's going on at the Crackhead Barrel. And, you know, a lot of people are like wondering why and everything. But this is really honestly what happens when you put a bunch of out-of-touch people who live in what they consider to be, you know, the modern world, and they really despise anything about the past that's ever happened in the U.S. history. You know, and it works here too. Awesome. So we do have somebody over on Twitch. Oh, that's Michael as well, checking us out on Twitch. We are working in all spots, and my chat aggregator is functional as well, which is epic because I can see everything. I wonder if I can move this up here. I can. Look at that. Now I can really see it. Oh, that's awesome. So now I can see everything. Well, now we're good to go. So we're in 3 spots. But anyway, I mean, a lot of people wonder how it could happen that you could take a brand that's entire identity is, you know, kind of Americana, or at least 40s, 50s, and such Americana, maybe even 30s Americana, and try to turn it into, I don't know, some sort of modern iteration. I mean, I saw the images of the rebrand that's on the inside of the store, and like there's these big plaques that have like rolling pins on them from different eras or something, and it's like, what are you doing? But, you know, I honestly, well, I know that's not going to work. And I don't know how people actually sitting in the boardroom ever thought that that was going to work. But it kind of gets worse when you really talk about how much they've changed the food and stuff. Because the people that go to Cracker Barrel, they love it. They go there all the time. And they're going to be the people that have been keeping Cracker Barrel alive, or at least barely alive, for all this time. And you know, they're gonna immediately notice the difference in the food and all that sort of stuff. And you know, the first thing that happens when you change your food up is all the people that actually keep you alive and above water, when the food quality goes down, those people are gonna find somewhere else to go. So it's not even the rebrand or the redesign or anything like that that's really gonna hurt Cracker Barrel in the long run, because they can backtrack on all that. What's really going to kill them is the fact that apparently the food quality has gone way downhill. So, you know, I don't get it. But it seems to me like we are in a cycle where we are trying to remove all forms of culture and, you know, that sort of stuff right out of anything that used to be cool. Like McDonald's, like McDonald's, it doesn't look like McDonald's anymore. It's Monica mentioned that the Cracker Barrel redesign looks like a cafeteria. She's not wrong. If you go to any hospital and look at the cafeteria in the hospital, that's pretty much exactly what the new Cracker Barrel design looks like. Did you really want to go and eat classic Americana food in a hospital? Probably not. And I don't think that any of the people who have been frequenting Cracker Barrel for the last 20 years really have any interest in going to have their breakfast anytime in a hospital. But that's what it looks like. And you can't tell me that the idiots in the boardroom don't see this. I don't understand. I mean, either they're from a different world or a different planet, or, you know, they're just stupid. That's the only thing you can think. How did you ever think that any of this was going to work? How? And I wish I could say that that was like the worst of it, the Cracker Barrelification of you know, culture. But my daughter's getting married, and she's getting married at in October at one of these kind of one-stop shop type marriage places where, you know, they basically have everything set up for you. So you have the ceremony there, and then you go over to the next room, and you have the wedding reception. And it's really, really super convenient. And you can bring in, you know, whatever officiant that you want to have your ceremony if you don't want to use one of theirs. And you can pretty much do it any way you want. But if you kind of do it the way they want you to do it, it's basically the Cracker Barrelification of a wedding. So there's no tradition like what we're used to back when, you know, when I got married. So the bride and groom not seeing each other? No, that's not a thing. They actually take all of the photos before the wedding happens because we don't want to miss any of the party. And that whole bride and groom doing their vows in front of God and witnesses, nope, that doesn't happen anymore either. In fact, they stand back to back and probably read them off a phone. I mean, are they saying their vows to their cell phone? I don't know. It doesn't seem very personal to me. But everything that can be done, like all tradition that you would expect to be normal in a wedding, is completely removed to replace it with efficiency. And let's get folks in and out of here as quickly as possible. We're going to make everything as homogenous as possible. And we're, you know, it's just, I'm pretty disappointed with it. But again, I'm not the one getting married, so I have absolutely no control over any of that. I know that may shock you guys. And I still have to go. You know what? It's bad enough to have to go to a wedding to begin with. Nobody really wants to go to a wedding, if we're being honest. But, you know, when it's your daughter getting married, at least I have to go, you know? And I'm kind of bummed that all trappings of any kind of tradition in wedding have been completely removed. And yeah, so I'm pretty disappointed. And so it's not just Cracker Barrel. It goes all the way down the line where they're destroying tradition and culture for the sake of efficiency and not offending anybody and this homogenous BS. And it sucks. Now, I know there's probably people that will eventually watch this video and say, well, that's just the boomer coming out of you. The old guy can't handle when new things come along. And it's like, I don't know. I mean, you have to ask yourself, especially when you're spending the kind of money that it takes to put on a wedding, what is your goal? Because when you get to be my age, the goal is to create memories. I don't need things. I'm not collecting new phones or anything that come out every year, the newest, hottest, latest, or any. I don't need any of that stuff. I've learned over the years that it's pretty meaningless. Almost every amount of expendable income that my wife and I use is on memories. It's on going places, exploring new things, trying new food, creating experiences. So if we take all of the unique and creative experiences out of everything, and I mean restaurants, and I mean weddings and everything, if we take all of those unique and creative traditions and experiences out of there, you're just robbing yourself of memories. Because nobody remembers the party, really. Let's be honest. Unless somebody walks through the door with a gun or something crazy like that, nobody remembers the party. You leaked the new channel on your main channel's new video. T-Smooth, you're going to have to explain to me exactly how that's possible so I can fix it. Because I didn't certainly... I spent way too long blurring crap out of that video. Way too long. So, if there's something in there that gave it away, and occasionally some people find it, it is what it is. I can't do anything about it. I can't spend 50 hours putting together a video and then another 10 hours blurring shit out. It's just too much. Yeah. Either way, I just hope people enjoy the series. And as you can see from the number of concurrent viewers on this streams, not very many people found it. But, at the end of the day, all that really matters is that we're having fun. Are all of the streams functional and working properly? Because we are live on Twitch, we are live vertically and horizontally on YouTube. So is everything actually functioning the way that it's supposed to? It does appear that it is. Well, thank you, T-Smooth. I appreciate it. Also, I appreciate you coming and hanging out with us because we're having a little bit of fun. And now I got totally off track because I started thinking about I'm going to have nightmares about blurring stuff out on this video. That is one thing about that's one thing about DaVinci Resolve that is not fun. The process to blur out stuff on there, it takes a long time. It is not fun. So, but it is what it is. I committed to doing the series because I feel like, and the whole reasoning behind the commitment to do this series, whether it succeeds or fails, and it's not performing terribly well, but that doesn't matter to me. The whole point was to prove or to try to get people to live stream, but also to prove that success comes in different formats. Maybe I make 10 grand a month within the 6-month period on these streams. I'm certainly not ruling out that possibility. The point is that you could still find success these days if you're willing to put in the hours and work hard. But mostly I just wanted to encourage people to get out there and stream because I feel like if you do it and you have a little bit of success, man, you're hooked. It's like the most fun thing you could possibly do. So hopefully that is the end result of the 10K challenge. I'm really hopeful that we just encourage tens of thousands of people to just stream. Just, click the go live button. It's really pretty easy. So, whether those will be the final results, to me, that's what success looks like, not the actual $10,000 a month. I think we'll probably get pretty close to 10,000 by the end of 6 months, but the real goal was to hopefully encourage people to just click that go live button and experience the excitement of streaming to nobody, and then the excitement of streaming to 5 people or 10 people or who knows. We've got some really talented people in my audience. I'm sure that some of them, they're going to light it up. But anyway, I expressed my disappointment with the Cracker Barrelification, really is what you would call it, because McDonald's did this a long time ago, just dumbing everything down. And there's another aspect to this, and you guys are gonna have to tell me how you feel about this. Oh, glad it went that quick. Let's see. 11:30 in the video, you showed the channel. I was thinking it was the beginning because I was enjoying the video. All right, I'll take a look. I might be able to cut that out or something. But to be honest with you, I'm a little incredulous to it at this point. Hopefully it all works out. McDonald's, Taco Bell, Best Buy. Yeah, they've all basically removed any kind of personality or branding. Even the king of branding, McDonald's, Disney, has started to put hotels and stuff in their resorts that are not branded. Now, I know this might be the redneck in me or just the old school or maybe just the fact that I'm a simple, poor knucklehead. I like branding. I will pay money to go to locations with cheesy branding. I love the Rainforest Cafe. I love the T-Rex restaurant. I love Margaritaville. I absolutely love the branding hotels in Disney. Like, the ones that are just crazy over the top. I love that stuff. For me, I'm willing to pay to enjoy the branding. So I don't understand what, and I'm guessing, I could be totally wrong, but I'm guessing that if you're going to Disney, it's because you love that stuff too. You love the branding. You love Margaritaville and the Rainforest Cafe and crap like that. You know what I mean? Funny thing is, when you showed the channel name, you did blur the new channel picture at least. Oh, so it's just the name slipped in there. Well, it is what it is. Hopefully people be like, what? That doesn't make any sense. No, ignore it. Oh, you found it, Mike? Is it blatant? How did we miss it? Oh well. It's not encouraging millions of others to pop in here. So at this moment in time, Mr. Smooth, I think we're all right. Hopefully the cat's not totally out of the bag. But it's going to take a lot more than a few stragglers finding this. It's going to take a lot more than a few stragglers finding this to fail or succeed the challenge. And to be honest with you, I knew the cat was going to get out of the bag at some point, so at least now we kind of know. And it's really only going to be the people who want to see me. That's the other thing. I haven't been live streaming on the main channel, so I definitely knew that there are going to be people who enjoy my live streams. We're going to find a way to find this. And by the way, we're starting out super basic because it is part of the thing. By the end of this series, by the 6-month mark, this live stream is going to be crazy fun. We're going to be streaming to a buttload of different locations. We're going to have all kinds of alerts and all kinds of stuff. It's going to be an amazing live stream. But I know there are people out there who just like to enjoy and hang out and live stream with me. And I knew they were going to hunt it down and find it eventually. And, so there we go. It's kind of tiny, but watching it on an 86-inch TV, well, that could be it. That could be it. You're probably giving away your age, though, because I'm not sure a lot of young people are watching it on their TVs. I've watched one thing from YouTube on my TV, and it was that game that they forced us to watch on YouTube. I think it was this weekend. I don't remember which game it was, but it was the Brazil game. I watched the Brazil game on TV. It's pretty. I was really surprised at how good the picture quality was. But what do you guys think? Do you guys seek out branding in hotels and that sort of stuff, especially when you're going on vacation? Like when we used to go to Vegas, we've been to Vegas a bunch of times. I didn't want to stay in some big fancy hotel with stinky shit in the lobby and everything else. Hell no, man. I wanted to stay in the Pyramid. you know? Or I wanted to stay in New York, New York, or one of the branded, the Paris, or whatever. I wanted to stay in one of the cheesy branded hotels. I mean, maybe that's just the redneck in me. I get to feel like I'm in Paris, even though I'm in Las Vegas. To me, that's pretty cool. That adds value to my stay. So the fact that they're removing branding from all this stuff, I feel like that makes it less interesting to me. That means there's less for me to connect to with those brands. What do you guys think? Are you branding fanatics, or do you like the more generic stuff? I mean, there's no question that when I go out to dinner, to specific locations because they give me a certain feeling. So if I want the brewery aesthetic with kind of high-end food type stuff, we might go to I don't know. There's the Iron Hill. We'll go to the Iron Hill for that sort of thing. If we just want the ultimate sports bar with bar food, that sort of stuff, we'll go to Dave & Buster's, or we'll go to Buffalo Wild Wings. When we go out to get Italian food, we'll go to, and I know they're national chains and people think they suck, but we'll go to the Olive Garden, you know. So Michael says, if I'm paying more for the experience, I want it to be different and memorable. That's right. And that's what theming and branding does. Every time that we go to the Rainforest Cafe, we always have a giggle at, the rainstorm that comes through and the goofy animatronic animals. I don't know. Is it cheesy and stupid? Probably. But, the Hard Rock Cafe is another one. I could spend 20 minutes, after we're done eating, kind of strolling over towards the bathroom and looking at all the different branding stuff and all the memorabilia and all that stuff. That's still branding. That's still a theme to the restaurant that adds value to me, other than having a great wait service or great food. The food is always better when I'm in a good mood, and theming and branding and that sort of stuff puts me in a good mood. It puts me in a certain place when I'm sitting down to eat, and I like that. When I feel like it's a good night to go out and watch a game and sit at a bar, I'll go to Buffalo Wild Wings and have a good time because it puts me in the right frame of mind. So that's kind of how I feel. So when Cracker Barrel and McDonald's and all that stuff completely remove the branding and the theming out of their restaurant, they're removing the experience from the participant. People were already bought into that experience at Cracker Barrel, and we're just removing that, and we're going to replace it with chic hospital cafeteria. That's what we're replacing. We're replacing this really cool down home kind of bumpkin feel with clinical hospital cafeteria. That sounds awesome. I think I want to pay extra for that. T-Smooth, when I go to Olive Garden, I just get a soda and the 5 cheese dipping sauces for the breadsticks and walk out full for us. That's, yes. Yeah, you know what? I would probably end up with a beer, which would add like $30 to the bill. But yes, I love their breadsticks and stuff. They're delicious. When we went to Buffalo Wild Wings, the staff was so professional, and our good mood helped them relax and have a laugh. That's exactly right. That's the other thing. A lot of people, I know, I have friends. I know that sounds shocking, but I do have friends. And occasionally we'll go out to a dinner or they'll, whatever. And there are certain people who will never be happy, ever. They find things about any situation or scenario that they turn negative. So if the waiter's 10 minutes slow or whatever, and that's just not me or my wife. When we go out to dinner, and we do that every Friday, it's kind of date night. When we go out to dinner, the service almost doesn't really matter. I mean, we've been sitting at a place like Dave and Buster's or whatever for like 40 minutes before the waiter even came over to our table. I mean, do we look at each other and kind of laugh about it? Yeah, but we're usually listening to music and talking and watching TV. And, I'm not in a hurry. I don't go out to try to enjoy a meal with friends or family in a hurry. Would it be nice to have better service? Yes. But I don't let it ruin my night. I just don't. It's just not worth it. That person who's the waiter or waitress, I could make a big stink and yell and whatever. But you know what? Maybe they're having a crappy day too. Sometimes it happens. So we never let that stuff get in the way. Now, I will adjust my tip accordingly if I'm waiting 40 minutes to get service or something. But I won't just leave them a cent or a penny either. Because I always take into consideration that not everybody is having their best day. And I don't let grumpy ass people or people who just aren't on the ball ruin my day. I just don't do that. So, what are friends? I know T-Smooth, but I have a couple. That's why I think you and I get along so well and can just hang out. We want to just have fun when we go to eat. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Now, the restaurant can go a long way towards creating a great experience for you. However, they can also contribute to more negative experience. And the difference is that I choose not to let questionable service and that sort of stuff taint my experience. I'm going to have fun no matter what. And that's the beautiful thing about the woman that I married. The beautiful Monica is she's not as stressed. When we go out and have fun, we just go out and have fun. Whatever happens, happens. She's perfectly fine with making jokes and talking about this and that and whatever, and we just don't worry about it. We don't take anything too seriously. And I think people go out, there are people who just have specific expectations. And the moment that those specific expectations are not met, it ruins their entire evening or day or whatever. And I just don't get that. I just don't get that. You can't let other people's actions or inactions taint or change your perspective on anything. You just can't do it. But lots of people do it. I've seen people get extremely miserable because everyone else's food came out and theirs took a little longer. And they'll ruin the entire night over that. That's like, so what? We're not in a situation where anyone's going to starve to death here. We live in a first world country. I've gone out and the person waiting on us is not in the best mood, and I go over and beyond to make them a little happier, to cheer them up. Absolutely. I always try to get our wait staff or whatever to laugh with us and have fun with us, to feel like we're having a party and you're a part of it, Why not? Why not? So I absolutely, totally agree. But branding in all of those scenarios and situations helps. Because, like, if the wait staff blows at Dave & Buster's, I got gigantic TVs to entertain me. I got an entire back room full of video games to entertain me. It's kind of the same at Buffalo Wild Wings. If the waiter or waitress isn't on the ball or that quick, well, first of all, I can just go up to the bar and get a drink. It's not a problem. I can do that. My legs still work. But I've got a million TVs. They've got in-house trivia games that you can play. There's other stuff to entertain you, plus the company of the individual that you're sitting with. Now, granted, it's a little more difficult to excuse that when you go to a restaurant like the Olive Garden, where literally all that's there is, the person sitting across from you and the food. They do have that stupid little kiosk, and you could pay money to play games so you could entertain yourself that way, I suppose, if you wanted to. It's a little less excusable, I think, at like traditional restaurants where the entire purpose of the wait staff is literally just to serve you food. I think they should be a little more on the ball than, say, a place like Dave & Buster's or Buffalo Wild Wings, where it's more of a long-term experience. People come to watch the game. They might hang out for 10 hours. I just think that, it's okay to have a little bit of a different expectation in either one of those locations. But either way, I never let it get I never let it get me worked up or unhappy, because I control the smile. People around me and all that stuff, they don't control that. And I think that's a good philosophy to have. Although I'm sure there are people out there that say, "Well, Mike, you're just nuts. You're just lying to yourself." And you know what? If lying to myself makes me happy and it doesn't hurt anyone else, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Now, if you're lying to yourself in some sort of a, way that causes you to be delusional about what reality really is in things that are important, then that's not necessary. That's more like a mental illness. I just feel like we're talking about entertainment and going out and eating and doing stuff like that. And yeah, in that case, I think it's perfectly fine to just ignore any of the negativity and things that may happen that aren't exactly perfect, and just enjoy the company and the fun. So, yep, if that's what it means to lie to yourself, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Let's see, what time do we have here? We've been on for actually almost 30 minutes. We're doing pretty good. But do you guys have any other examples of companies that have just basically stripped out everything that makes them fun and interesting? I mean, it's really pretty easy to point to Cracker Barrel, and I think that McDonald's is a pretty good example of this. It does seem to me, to be honest with you, that restaurants, at least fast food restaurants, are starting to realize that their pricing is not fast food anymore. Like, if a burger at McDonald's costs the exact same amount or pretty close to the same amount as the burger at Buffalo Wild Wings or wherever, then it's not fast food anymore. And it's not far off, if we're being perfectly honest. In fact, I think in some ways the food at Taco Bell is more expensive than going to like On the Border or something like that. Now, granted, at On the Border, I'm going to get a margarita and some chips on the side, and I'm going to sit down and enjoy my meal. But the reality is that if I just go fast food at Taco Bell, there's a distinct possibility that the bill is only going to be maybe $5 or $10 off of what I would have spent On the Border. Taco Bell is so ridiculously expensive that it's become stupid to go there. I would just rather go over to On the Border and have my Mexican food and sit down. Yeah. Taco Bell and McDonald's have gotten way too expensive to be considered fast food anymore. Michael says, I don't think Wendy's has changed much. Whoops. Let's see. T-Smooth. Makes me sad when I see that a side-by-side picture of an older McDonald's where they had all the colors and characters everywhere, the playground. Nowadays, just bland franchise building. You are not wrong, T-Smooth. You are not wrong at all. It used to be kind of an experience. Michael says, I don't think Wendy's has changed much, at least in my area. But some of the people who work there aren't happy at all. Yeah, I've definitely seen that. And, you're right. Wendy's theming has at least stayed relatively consistent. I do agree with that. So, is the vertical version of this stream functioning? I don't know. I'm getting a weird circle going on my preview. Now it seems okay. I don't know. Hopefully everything is functioning the way it should. But it's hard to say. But fast food pricing has gotten ridiculous. And they've already corporatized all the food, so it's all fast food, meaning it comes in big bags that some truck delivers. So it's not like they can cheap the food out anymore. The only thing that they can do to fix the problem is take less profit. And of course they're not going to do that. So I do think that the fast food industry as a whole is probably on its way out. Because if you can't lower the food cost enough to have it align with the people who eat fast food, i.e., poor people like me, just people who are in a hurry and want a quick stop. If they can't lower those food prices to the point where they're fast food accessible and accessible to poor people like me and that sort of stuff, if you're going to have fast food prices that rival what it costs for me to just go into Buffalo Wild Wings or even Chili's or something like that, well, why the hell am I going to eat at McDonald's when I could pay the same amount and sit down at Chili's? Why? Why would I do that? Or Applebee's? I mean, I'm not saying the food at Applebee's or Chili's is great, but McDonald's food isn't good. It's fast food. It's supposed to be, that's what and it's supposed to be cheap. And it's not. It's way far from cheap. So those I think McDonald's and Burger King and Arby's are in trouble because they've already cheaped out the food. It's already microwave garbage. They've already cheaped out the food as much as they can in the name of profit, and then they've hiked the prices up in the name of profit. And so eventually people are just going to say, why the hell am I eating at Taco Bell when I can go to the local Mexican restaurant down the street and pay less for better food and drink beer? Why would I do that? And so they better figure it out. And the only way to figure it out is to actually, take less profit. That's how you figure it out. Yeah. T-Smooth, the soft shell taco at Taco Bell, remember, used to be 75 cents, $4. Yep, that's crazy. $4. And so think about this. If you go to a restaurant and you get a taco dinner, right? You're going to get 2 tacos and it's around $9, right? Well, Taco Bell's two tacos is $8. So, and at the restaurant for the $9 2 taco meal, you're going to get refried beans and probably some rice, right? So how does Taco Bell make any sense? I remember when tacos, like not the Supreme tacos, but the regular tacos, were 39 cents at Taco Bell. You used to be able to go in there and eat like a freaking king for like $6 with soda and everything else. So it's ridiculous. Yeah, T-Smooth, 3 tacos, rice and beans for around $9. I mean, even if it's $11, $11 is still cheaper than 3 tacos at Taco Bell. So why? And did you ever notice that everything in Taco Bell is made with the exact same ingredients? They just put it on like a different shell. Literally, everything at Taco Bell is the exact same ingredients. It's just put on a different shell, and we're just going to put it together in a different way. We're going to call it a different thing so we can charge more for it. But I think people are waking up. Hopefully, because honestly, for me, Taco Bell is the worst offender. Taco Bell used to be the place to go if you wanted to get good food cheap and be in and out fast. Now, I think the prices at Taco Bell are more unreasonable than even McDonald's. So every time we're out to eat, Taco Bell used to be like the one let's do Taco Bell. We're going to get in and out cheap. And now, man, last time I went to Taco Bell for Monica and I, it was like $22 for a couple of tacos. And it's like, what? Are you kidding me? Oh, yeah, it's bad. I guess you haven't been there in a while, which means you're probably eating a lot healthier. I know Mike is definitely losing busloads of weight, so he's doing really good. Oh, he's doing really good stuff. One Punch said, "Did I hear Taco Bell?" You did. We're talking about Taco Bell pricing and how ridiculous it is. For 3 Taco Supremes at Taco Bell, you're going to pay, what, $12. You can go to a restaurant and get a taco platter with 3 tacos, refried beans, and rice for less than $12. Why the hell are you spending or wasting a single dime at Taco Bell for bad tacos? Taco Bell is not fast food. It used to be cheap. It used to be good. Now it's just garbage. Now it's just garbage. And welcome in, One Punch. I'm so glad you found us. How did you find us, by the way? Did we actually show up in any of the did it actually show up in one of the suggesteds or whatever? Let me know, brother. I would like to know how people are finding us. We are actually live horizontally and vertically on YouTube, and then we are also live on Twitch. Although I don't think on Twitch so far anyone has even noticed. So there you go. It's going to be a blast. We're going to grow this thing. I think now that I've tested horizontal and vertical, and it looks like we're going to have our first successful day streaming both, plus Twitch, I think we're in a really good position to actually start to add some other things, some features like voices and faces and alerts and that sort of stuff. So that might be the focus that we're going to move towards this week. Now, obviously, I'm not going to add a whole bunch of stuff right off the bat. This week's video that comes out about the nature of these streams will probably end up focusing on how to get your multi-streaming functioning properly, because I know I left off last week where I said basically nothing worked, and boy, did nothing work. So we're going to have a little bit of that, and maybe we just add stuff like this. We show you how to do that. Because actually, that's pretty cool too, and that shows up that I can use that stuff from any place, even on Twitch. See, Chance is over on Twitch hanging out. That's right, Chance. We'll do it live. It's good to see somebody found us over on there as well. One Punch. On my main channel has a Discord. This channel specifically does not. So I guess the big question is, where did you find us? Did you find us through the main channel, or did you just happen to stumble upon us over here? Uh-oh. Tech Examine. I don't know what that... yeah. Am I missing something over there? Oh, One Punch is a big fan, so you must have found me from my other channel. The other channel has a membership tier that has access to the Discord. I am probably going to create a Discord for the current challenge that I'm on. I haven't decided yet, but that might be a thing that we do. So it is nice to see Chance pop in. I appreciate that. And Mr. One Punch. Love seeing new folks. Probably found it on the video. I have a feeling. I wonder if I can clip it out or fix it. I don't know. You'll have to show me where it is then, Michael. Either way, we have been on for about 45 minutes. I want to know. Oh, so One Punch, you might have missed earlier. We were talking about theming. Because I feel like when you take the theming out of Cracker Barrel and you basically make it look like a hospital cafeteria, it removes some of the attachment to the restaurant, first of all, but some of the enjoyment of the experience. And I am a moron who's 10 years old and also probably a redneck, and I love restaurant theming, and I love resort theming, and I love hotel theming. And obviously the people in the High Castle think we shouldn't love that stuff. But I love the Rainforest Cafe. And I love T-Rex. And I love Margaritaville. And all of their stupid, childish theming. I love it. It makes me feel good. When I go into a Margaritaville, I feel like I'm right outside the beach. Like it's right outside that window. And we're going to just have a big party in here, and then I'm going to step out on... I feel like that's okay. I like that. When I go to the Rainforest Cafe, I like to know that we're going to have some sort of a jungle storm, and there's going to be gorillas that could pop out and attack me at any moment. I like that. I love that. And, you know, so... I think that that experience adds to my dining or it adds to my stay when I go to Disney and I stay at a themed resort. So why these companies feel like stripping out all of the character and all of the theming from their restaurants is going to make them more money is beyond me, because I personally feel like there are more people out there who love cheesy theming than not. Not every day, I get it. It could be too much. I wouldn't want to eat at the Rainforest Cafe every day or Margaritaville every day. But when I'm on vacation or I want to go out on a Sunday to have breakfast anytime, I think the theming makes the difference. And I love it. I love it. But what do you think, Mr. T-Rex? Or Mr. T-Smooth? Or Mr. One Punch? What do you guys think? Or Lego Tech Mike? Or Chance the Rapper? All right. It's been a pretty successful live stream. I cannot believe that somehow McDonald's looks like an institution. It really does. It really does. McDonald's, if you put McDonald's and Cracker Barrel in the same hospital, well, they could just be different parts of the same cafeteria now. You'd never know the difference. Oh, man. Luckily, you can get your appendectomy and then eat at a place that looks just like the Cracker Barrel in the hospital. Isn't that fantastic? Maybe that's what they're going for. Oh, man. Well, I'm having too much fun. And I really do appreciate the fact that so many people came and hung out today. It's awesome. I apologize for ruining the challenge for some folks because they have managed to find me because I left it in there. Hopefully, hopefully the leaking doesn't become a faucet, because I really do appreciate the fact that some people are coming and popping in and hanging out. But yeah, if the cat's out of the bag, it kind of destroys the series. So we're going to keep it quiet. I'm in California. Both me and my wife made it clear to never eat at big corporate fast food restaurants. Yeah, I mean, I do like a nice local restaurant, but I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. Monica and I spend a lot of time at Buffalo Wild Wings and Dave & Buster's and not Ruby Tuesdays, Chili's, because it's just really, they're super close to my house, convenient and local. Now, we do spend a lot of time also at the Iron Hill, which is a local brewery, and the Thirsty Turtle, which is a local restaurant. But we do eat at fast food, or basically what you would consider bigger restaurant chains, because I like the theming. I do. I'm a sucker for it. So, if I could support, whenever I have the opportunity to support local restaurants and stuff, and it fits into my schedule, we definitely do that. But we do spend a lot of time, money, and energy on national chains like B-dubs. Just because, when you're going out to watch games on a Sunday, you can go to Buffalo Wild Wings. You know what you're getting. You're getting basically a wait staff who doesn't give a shit if you sit there for 7 hours, and you're going to get, food that's adequate, and you're going to easily be able to see all of the games that you want to see. And, so for that, it works just perfectly. And it seems like Monica and I always end up going on vacation over the football season. So we're going to spend at least one Sunday sitting in a Buffalo Wild Wings for pretty much all day long when we're on vacation. It's just the way it is. We're football nut jobs. So, man, this has been a blast. Thank you guys so much for the guys who have managed to sneak over and find me. Thank you so much for stopping by. Please do every day. I'm going to be here at the same time in the same place, and I really do appreciate you finding us and stopping by. However, I would appreciate it if you kept it quiet, not put anything in the comment sections or anything, because I'm certainly not going to talk about it on the next video, how people found me. We're just going to pretend it was organic. Wink, wink. Because so far it's been a trickle, and that's perfectly fine. It is what it is. Cold wings. Hey, Cold wings are better than no wings, baby. I love you guys. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me. You made this a lot more fun, and I do appreciate it. I am always looking for conversation starters, things that you guys want to talk about in this live stream, because as you can imagine now at this point, it's just about whatever we were going to talk about. So I'm looking for subjects, topics, and interesting things. Maybe you guys just want to know how I feel about something or whatever. Put it in the comments of the video. So I've got some topics. Because I really think after today, I'm pretty much tapped out. I've used a lot of the topics that I had written down, and I'm going to have to spend a lot of time figuring out what the next 5 or 6 days of topics is going to be. So if you guys have something you want to talk about or you want me to talk about, put it in the comments section. I would really appreciate it. Either way, love you guys. See if you could patch it. See you next time. All right, T-Smooth, I'll definitely check it out. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Love you. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.